someone he wanna be interested on my simple short films, they wanna talk, because in La Dolce Syria, when I made this film, they are recording, they are clever. You are recording?
Yeah.
Good girl.
Go on.
You look very nice from here. Believe me. I think this is kind of new romance sculpture. I'm talking seriously. Please, Andrea, can you come and see her?
Yeah.
Behind the tripod. Look how much she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's a romance sculptor.
I think this things, it's the real cinematography, because it's cinematography, it came from the very special moments. You told me something when we met. You are curious to know what my answer. I don't like questions, because you have a lot of questions in your eyes, and you don't need to ask. When I made La Dolce Syria, after they invite me for Pesaro Film Festival, but I can't make it because I was a refugee. And then Adriano Apra, he knows about the film, and he asked maybe some friends. He need to say something for me, because I use his film essay in La Dolce Syria. And Mia sorella Donatella, and it's kind of poem. Mia sorella Donatella. She make appointment with him in Cinema Institute in Rome. For me, he's really Italian guy. He asked me for the first time, why you use my film essay in La Dolce Syria? I told him we are in the heart of revolution, the great Syrian revolution. And we don't have time to ask for agreement. And the more important things, when I start looking for the circs of Federico Fellini, Maestro Federico Fellini, I find your film essay. And I fall in love with your sound, because you have very special sound. This is why, for these two reasons, I choose to use your film essay. But I mention your name at the end. I made editing for this film when I was on the camp, refugee camp, for 8 months. It was the more important period on my life. Because to be in a refugee camp, something, and to hear about refugee camp, it's something else. And by accident, I find myself after the Sun's Incubator, when I screened this film. And I am very proud, because it was the first film about the Syrian Revolution. And it was in Venice Film Festival, because I love Venice Film Festival, because they give me this chance with other filmmakers. Because if you have a small budget, it's very difficult to go there. But I have a big budget, the Syrian Blood. The Sun's Incubator, it was about the great Syrian revolution. It was the first film how the Syrian people on the street, they cut Bashar al-Assad image. And there is a blood of Hamza al-Khatib. He was a very small, young guy in Syria. He wrote on the wall in his school, "Let's kick out Bashar al-Assad." They arrest him, they killed him, and they cut his penis. And his uncle or his father or his families, they put this part on the YouTube when they are cleaning Hamza al-Khatib, and they throw red flowers in his body with a lot of bullet. And maybe his uncle, he said, they cut his penis. At this time I was with my ex-wife, with my daughter, Sophia Shams, watching on the TV. And we have a breakfast. It's very difficult to eat when you are watching the news. This is why this film, it was in Venice Film Festival for the first time. I need to say something now. Thank you for Marco Moller. because he decided to have this film in Venice Film 2011, exactly after 5 months when the revolution it started. This film, it gives me a lot and big of responsibility, because suddenly I find myself, it's a film, there is a big revolution, and the oldest film festival. When the Venice Film Festival it's finished, I decide I will not go back to Syria, because I'm sure they wanna arrest me. And because I have my daughter, she was 1.5 years. I was afraid about her. Normally I don't afraid from anything on this life, but I am afraid about her future. This is why I decided to be outside. It was in September 2011. After Venice and your screening and your positive energy, you are made something. It can maybe change the situation in Syria. Until today, it's nothing happened. We have the same dictator. And I find myself alone. I went back to Rome with a few monies, because I pay more than 5,000 euro to put my film on DCP. And I have maybe 500 euros in Rome. I can't, and I can go back, but I don't like to go back to Syria. A small room in Rome, in a motel, and with a lot of questions. Then I have this kind of feeling. Syria, my Damascus, they push me outside because I made this film. When I arrived to Berlin and I decided to be a refugee in Berlin, 2014, 18th of September, at night, Al Tegel airport, I spent more than 10 days to know how I can spell as asylum. For me, it was very difficult. By accident, before 6 months, I watched a British short film about someone he asked for asylum. I catch this word. And I try for 1 week, 10 days to know how I can spell it. I spell it very well. I am asking for a political asylum. 3 polizei from the immigration. They took me to the 2nd floor, Al Tegel airport. Inside the room, it was very difficult. And now, after 8 years, I'm trying to catch my tears. And I know I will not cry, because I cry a lot before. At this time, they ask you a lot of questions. What you are doing. I have a big bag because I left from Dubai after 2.5 years. And at this time I have a blue Adidas. And when they open my bag, because they need to look what I have, one of the general, he find this blue Adidas and they start smiling. I know now why they are smiling, because it means he love Adidas. There is a relation with the German brands. A lot of questions, a lot of papers. They look for the internet for 4 hours. And then they give me paper. They ask me to sign it. At this moment, it was very difficult, because they ask you to sign something. And it means you will go inside Germany. At that moment, I start crying a lot, because I know I put my signature and I will not go back. There is a lady, she was very nice. She worked with the polizei. She catch her tears also, and she brought to me schwarz Kaffee, black coffee. She was very sensitive. The German sensitivity, they don't need to to touch you or to say something for you. But they have very strong feelings when they need to. Maybe they can bring you coffee. It's mean a lot. At this moment, it mean a lot for me. Then, after this, a lot of questions, 4.5 hours, they asked me, would you like to pick you to your Vonheim, to your camp? I told them no, I can take a taxi because I have money. And I asked for the taxi, and suddenly I was on the jungle. It's a huge area. At this time, there is a huge factory of, they call it Osram. It's very big brand. They make lights. When I was very small in my mother's house, the Syrian people, they used to use Philips and Osram. And when I find this big sign, it was next to my room in the camp, a huge camp, very old camp in Berlin. I feel I'm okay, because from my window I can put my head outside, I can see Osram, and I feel I have a lot of lights inside. It was very difficult at this night because the light, it's very خفيف, low light, neon light. It looks like hospital. And the room, they give me a key and I opened the room. It was 12 square meter, 2 beds, very dirty. A lot of, I don't know the name of these things. They are on the table because there is dishes and food. There is another one. He lives in the room. I decided at this night, maybe I will be very weak with this situation, a big bag and everything behind you, or I should start film from tomorrow. And this is what happened. I filmed more than 100 hours. Everything inside. Children, Syrian, my real Syrian people. A lot of stories. And I decided to do this long feature film not now, because the whole media now, they are waiting something about refugee. No, this film, it's not about refugee. This film, it's about hope, about pain, about a lot of children, about Abu Ali. Abu Ali, he's a young guy from Syria. He came, he have a lot of problem in his body because by accident there is a bomb, it's blow up in his face. And in his face there is a cube of metal, 8 centimeter by 8 centimeter in his face, under the skin. Abu Ali, he was very strong, sensitive. He's a silent guy. And he cleaned his dishes in one hand. One of my main characters, Abu Ali. I follow Abu Ali until the hospital, until they remove this. And we film this block of metal in his table, in his room, because he was my neighborhood in a long corridor. At this time, I feel I don't need only to film my people. I need to make a film. And I decide to start doing a short film because Berlinale, it's coming. And I need to play with this big festival. The whole filmmakers, they dream to go for Cannes and Venice and Berlin. I am one of them. Because it's very interesting, important for the independent filmmakers to screen the films in big festivals. And this is kind of our fight. If you catch this moment, you will say, there is films, you can make films without money. And you are not asking for money. You need to make your films directly. And this is my decision. I start going for an old footage. I have footage, 2 boys on my house in Damascus with a Bolex 16 millimeter. I put it and I filmed them when they, for first time in Syria, the Turks came. And I put this footage and I start looking for something to build this film. And because Fellini, He loves circus. I went to Fellini. I find Adriano Opera talking about circus. I use his film essay. And I decide to say La Dolce Syria. Because Fellini, he was very sensitive and clever. He gives us a key. He say La Dolce Vita. I'm not, Fellini films, it's not my films. I prefer Jean-Luc Godard, Robert Bresson, Pedro Costa. But Federico Fellini, he say La Dolce Vita. For me, I feel there is something in this title. I say La Dolce Syria. There is Bollocks and there is Scud. We have Scud. Our dictator, the father, Hafez al-Assad, he took a lot of Scots from Soviet Union, and his son, he used it for the Syrian. He killed a lot of Syrian people. Between the Bollocks and the Scud and ISIS, there is La Dolce Syria. Why I'm telling this story? Because when I sent the copy for Berlinale and they accepted, and suddenly I find the Sun's incubator push me out of my country. La Dolce Syria, it gives me this small room in camp. And then they start put the big posters. One of these big posters, I have photographs, exactly on the corner of the camp, by accident. And every night when I come back to the camp, I find Berlinale and I have film there. And I made this editing inside the camp with the sounds of a lot of children outside, crying, playing. Sometimes I need the atmosphere to be quiet because you need to concentrate to build a story between La Dolce Vita and La Dolce Syria. I wait until the night when the whole people, they are sleeping. The Syrian people, they sleep at night. After 12, they eat and they sleep. And I work a lot and they accept the film. The story, it's not here. The story is, maybe before 1 month, suddenly I decide I will give a name for my whole upcoming films, La Dolce something. With this 3 days in Palermo, I finished La Dolce Palermo. I have the material in small hard disk. I will, in this bag, I'm sure I have amazing film about Palermo because there is a lot of beauty and sadness. And I have La Dolce Berlin, I have La Dolce Tokyo because I was in Tokyo. And I made La Dolce Tokyo with 1 day, with 1 shot, 100 minutes. Yushi, 77 years, she's selling flowers in the middle of Tokyo. And I follow her for 100 minutes. Yushi, she was amazing lady. And I have a lot of title, La Dolce something. I have La Dolce Palermo. You have any questions? I need to say sorry for you, sorry for him. Sorry for him because I only look for your eyes because I need to concentrate. This is one of the best film festival I ever went. You know, I didn't watch any film in this festival. Believe me. But the festival, it's not about only the films. It's about the people around. Your assistant, your people, how they are dealing with things. How they are talking with silence. They don't make mess. They are very light, beautiful. And you felt, look, I need 1 poster, 1 big poster. And I'm so happy my trilogy will be in this festival. And I'm grateful for you because I told you in the cafe with your daughter. Thank you very much because Risky Poems, it's born in Palermo, in your amazing catalog. I think this catalog, it's about freedom. It's about the real meaning of Fred. It's about how you can... Donatella, she told me, they want to print it black and white. I told her, yes, yeah, it's black and white. It's amazing, because black and white, it's kind of اختصارات. يعني when you need to, there is no, you need to see something different. And I told you on the email, it was great because everything, it was in the PTF, it was great for me to have. I have my new series of risky poems in our catalog, because it's our catalog. My trilogy, it will be shown now, I don't know where. And they are listening. In another festival, they are do it like crazy. They need footage, only they need footage. And there's a beautiful girl. Look how she sit. It looks like the sculpture in Quattro Canti. Grazie mille.